The problem with going live and doing things live is that you really don't get a chance to fix any of your fuck ups. They're there, they're permanent, you're boned. So
It's
you
like a
just
Ask
rumble
Paul
in
how he knows.
oh, because I've been doing this a while. Because oh god, have I fucked up in my time. So basically, you just kind of like move past it, you admit your boner, or just move on past it, and keep going.
You
I
do
should not
what?
have used boner with this audience. I should
You
not
know,
have used that word.
I think we should go with phrasing on that.
Phrasing,
I
I think, is an acceptable response to me popping a boner in the middle of that sentence.
Wow.
Veronica, so
I
how's your life doing? Yeah, that's I'm a very visual person. So I have
Jack,
to feel
Jack, why don't you tell us about your boner?
the phone. Wait, no, I'm like a
what?
kingdom. I'm
What
like a
boner
kingdom.
have
I
you?
didn't have a boner. There are no boner
I'm
that's going on here. And in
He is
honor of
also known as
celebrity,
he's also known as Mr. Floppy.
Oh, oh, oh. Well, we were talking about hairy hobbit feet earlier. Could you confirm or deny whether or not your boner is hairy hobbit feet
you know,
type
this
thing?
is
To which of us
what
are you
we're like.
speaking?
This is
I
like
mean, Veronica might
total.
get offended by that question.
I'm just saying, this is like a total. Are we flip flopping the After Dark episode with the regular episode?
I don't
If
know.
this is the level of the regular episode, I am really concerned about
It's-
the After Dark episode.
Okay, all right. Let's back up for a second. Howdy, folks, and welcome to another episode of the Dead Robot Society. I'm Paul Lee Cooley, managing this train wreck, apparently. Joining me, as always, Veronica Jaguar, Terry Mixon, and special guest Jonathon Jack Brown.
How did this turn into a sausage fest? What happened here?
What do you mean? How did this turn into a sausage fest? What did I miss?
Veronica
Oh, you're
is
talking about the boner
separate.
reference. Okay, you're back on
I-
that. I was trying to move past it, and you just basically popped it right back. And this is just, I need to stop talking. That's basically what needs to happen. So,
First things first. Hold on.
all right, we've terrified our guests. That's all.
You know, you should,
okay.
Jack, you should swap that out for vodka, and you'll do much better in this conversation.
Now, wait a minute. If you go and look at the synonym for boner, I'm sure you're going to find a mistake, accident, something along
Let
those
me
lines.
check that for you.
No, don't look up boner in Google. It's not gonna pull up what you think it's gonna pull
I'm
up.
not going to use.
Actually, it's going to pull up
Google. I'm
exactly what she thinks it's going to pull up.
I'm going to pull up a trusted thesaurus. Thank you very much.
And get a link back to a questionable website.
No, that.
No? Yes?
So,
Colloquially?
colloquially, definition, noun, one as in scream, laugh, howler, gag, wisecrack, riot, joke, witticism, or two as in boob, inaccuracy, blunder, flub, goof, clinker, gaff, fumble, errancy.
I rest my goddamned case.
I am now slightly concerned about the accuracy of the Merriam-Webster thesaurus.
You know,
So-
it's early in the episode, but I'm glad that Rick is already on the ball. What is
I
this,
just want to know what
excluded?
exclused means.
Exclused?
What means?
He exclused Terry.
That exclused Terry. So
Is that
yeah,
it's
maybe it's excludes Terry.
you know a real writer.
He's
would
saying
know
that I'm
how
not
to
witty.
spell.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna try and get this back on the rails. I don't know how.
Good luck with that.
I want to say, in defense of my use of the word boner, I was right. Y'all are wrong. Tough. There we go. So we usually start the show off by saying, "How the hell are you? What have you been up to?" But I am not really sure that's even going to float. But we'll try. Veronica, what have you been up to?
As my nickname says, I'm a terrible patient, but I have no more sling. Yay! I still have stitches though, so that kind of sucks. But
Wound
they'll
forward.
either come out Monday or Wednesday. I'm not sure which. For those who are listening and not watching, Julius has made an early appearance to suffocate Terry. With love. Always with love.
Oh, is that what we're calling it?
We can prove the love here.
your DRS ASMR. Thank you. So yeah, other than that, let's see. It's the start of school, so I've been like between like mom mode. So I've been going between the bowling alley for bowling tryouts, not for me, but for the kids, and school starting. And thankfully, I did not have to go and run down the warpath and yell for teachers because my kids got awesome teachers. Yay. But all of the kerfuffle in Florida about policies, and they actually had to cancel some classes because of various things. Yeah. So that's been fun.
What the heck?
6, 7, 8, 9. 9 cat sneezes.
Did you give him sneezing powder? What the hell was that?
I was taking a picture of me holding him down on the desk. I didn't know he was going to start sneezing.
A likely story.
I can't follow, Julius's sneeze fest. So, what about you, Terry? Aside from,
This has been the first week of writing on the new book, and I took 2 days off at the beginning of it and did lots of running around and doing all the things that I've been putting off, chores and errands that needed to be run. And there's been some doctor's appointments. So it's been a relatively relaxed week of production, but I've gotten about 15,000 words written in the new novel, so I can't complain.
Nice.
You're so sexy.
You're
too sexy
for this podcast.
Not like that's really difficult if V disconnects.
So what you're saying is, after V,
she is
I
sexy
am the
enough for
most.
This podcast.
You're saying that after V, I am the next sexiest person on this podcast. That's what you just
the three
said.
of us would be disconnected. It would just
That's
be
what
you.
I heard.
Jack's wagging his finger saying, hey, wait a minute, I'm sexy. But, I just don't think you fit the bill. You don't have the red dress. Well, then again, he is busting up.
Just wait till Vegas.
God, no,
she's probably going to bring me one, and there I'm going to be trying to figure out how to walk in heels and a red dress and stand in front of her booth while she's off doing whatever else and pretending to be her. I'm sure that's going to come out very well.
Yeah, I'm going to have to ask when we go after a new logo. I'm going to have to ask for some changes. B's going to reach to the screen and strangle me. I just want to say that right now.
No, I'm just thinking if I have a red dress, then I would bother lending. And that would work. And part of me's going,
isn't that called a tent?
Oh,
if it's in my closet?
It's more like a moo-moo. Terry's going to be...
No, that's not what I meant. That is not what I meant.
So you're saying that I can have the moo-moo dress. Is that what it is?
I'm saying I might have something with some very forgiving fabric, But
it would have to be very forgiving.
I'm not on camera, so you have to take my word for how sexy I am. Yeah, Matt, you're Wales. I don't believe anything you say.
No, he gets a pass. Welsh.
For being in Wales?
Yeah. A Welsh accent is awesome.
Wait a minute. Does this basically validate that accents make men more sexy or people more sexy in general? Is that what you're telling me?
It depends. Everyone has like a different thing on, in their ear that they really like. Some people like certain accents. Some people don't like others. It's,
We get another $50 in donations on buymeacoffee.com. I will pay for Pondy to do that shit.
He'll probably do that for free.
He probably will.
Yes, but he's good, so he should be paid.
Alice has made it, and thankfully she came in 10 minutes late and missed all of the ruckus at the beginning.
No, not ruckus. It's been complete and utter tomfoolery. Excuse my language, podcast and listeners. And
Wow.
Tomfoolery.
I can't believe that. That word is stricken. That word is it will hereby replaced with tomfuckery. It's a totally different thing. Now,
you.
Matt says Welsh accents work well anywhere but Wales. B, you had something to say?
I just nearly had a
coffee-related incident.
An impromptu, coffee sinus irrigation. So I'm gonna put my cup down.
Good Lord.
Poor Jack. Yeah, no
Oh,
shit.
he knows what he's gotten into. He knows.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
He ran around with us in Vegas last year, so he knows exactly what he's gotten into.
Yeah, as the title says, some things don't stay in Vegas. Well, here we go. We got Jack. Jack is this dude that we met in Seattle, who's an amazing guy.
We didn't meet him in Seattle. We did not meet him in Seattle.
He lives in Seattle. We met him in Vegas. Good God,
There you go. There you go.
We had a great time talking to him and everything else, and he's got a new book out, and we're going to ask him what the hell he has been up to before I tell you what I've been up to. So there.
So what have you been up to, Jack?
Creatively, what have you been doing?
That was an intro to the question. Okay. I've been up to a whole lot. I now work for immigration. I no longer work for the dubious IRS.
I'm afraid that I have to tell you that the IRS is not dubious, because that means that there's some judgment call on one way or the other. They fall on the other side of the line.
You're absolutely correct. The devilish, the demonic.
The Infernal Revenue Service.
All of that good stuff.
One of my sisters works for them out of Austin.
Rick, stop it, Rick. You're confusing me. So I've been up to not a lot. I work for immigration now. I'm an immigration services assistant. It's pretty awesome. I love what I do.
Awesome sauce.
I take care of the pre-work that gets people to their interviews, that then determines whether or not they become citizens. And on July 4th this year, Paul, you might have got the picture, but if you didn't, I'll tell you about it.
Yeah,
I was a part of making 503 new American citizens. And the way that I explain it to kids mostly, or for Terry to be specific, the way that I explain it is I'm in the business of making Americans, i.e., I'm in an American factory.
Small words for Terry is always a good thing.
Yes.
Third grade reading level. Third grade. Actually, it's a third grade speaking level.
Mm-hmm.
I learn best when we speak in redneck.
Well, you look at here right here and right now. I want you to understand something right here. We ain't gonna do no redneckery around here because I got things to mean. Yes, all those things.
I'm going to be using that word in my current novel, redneckery. It is now officially incorporated.
You have my leave to do so.
But what have you been up to creatively, sir?
Creatively, I have been trying to come up with ways to learn how to walk without being a pain. But creatively, I've been writing for the theater. I've been marketing my book. I now have it on JBLM, which is an acronym for Joint Base Lewis McCord, which is a base out here. They're now promoting. They have like a 15-second commercial for my book. It's pretty awesome.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
That's so cool.
So you have a book. Why don't you tell us about your book?
Good idea. So I'm
Hit the
going.
imaginary bell.
I wrote a book about my recovery and military service, and my military service, then recovery after getting injured while in service, and what the transition in civilian life was like. And it's called American Airman, a memoir of a wounded veteran.
And the link is in the live channel.
Yeah, it's on Amazon as an audiobook, ebook, and paperback. And it's won a bunch of awards. I'm now currently, right now, at this moment, a finalist for the Colorado Independent Book Publishers Association book award, and the Killer Nashville Silver Falchion Award for nonfiction and memoir. So super
awesome
excited.
sauce.
That's amazing. The Colorado one, that's a big deal. I mean, damn.
I was thinking about going to Colorado, but yeah. Being a self-published author is not the lucrative monetary benefit that I would like it to be, but it is fulfilling.
It is when you get 40 books out, apparently, according to Terry. 40 books, that'll do it.
I'm still working.
All I can say is I was lucky.
Yeah, you could say that.
I do say that often.
So I also know, so that's nonfiction, right? That's a memoir, so to speak. So that covers what your service, just basically afterwards, including when we met you in Vegas. Are we in there?
No, you didn't make the cut.
Maybe if you'd have showed him your boner earlier, then this could have happened.
Terry!
We don't have enough bandwidth for that. First of all, second of all, sorry, Veronica, I didn't mean to do that. It was
you're gonna need a long lens.
Jack. Okay, remember 2 things. 1, my first job out of college, I worked as a civilian contractor for the Navy in Mississippi.
Oh.
And I was one of 2 women in the planning yard department of about 40 guys.
Oh, good God bless you. I'm sorry.
So
that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, and 2, I'm a card-carrying actor, and I've been doing theater I did college theater and then community theater. So yeah, I've been paid to say worse things.
You know what? That's right. That's right. You probably said filthier things and gotten paid for it than I ever have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
You didn't have to walk on the street at night to do it, Paul.
He does that because he wants to, not because he has to.
His calves.
Well, the subject of his voluntarily doing it or not wasn't in question because we all know he wanted to do it.
I wasn't going to fight that. You know, people got to make choices. You got to roll with how they feel at the moment. You know, and sometimes that includes Veronica's red dress. I borrow it and strut down the stairs.
That you got to work on that hip thing though, because you just don't have the hip thing going.
Dude, I'm afraid I'm going to break a hip if I tried to sashay. I mean, it's just.
No, Paul, you're too tall and big and musty to do any sashaying. I don't mean that in a mean way.
The sachet doesn't work when you basically stomp as you walk, so that doesn't do any good for the sachet business.
That's right. I'd look like Godzilla. When I dance, I look like Godzilla stomping Tokyo. That's my idea of a romantic dance.
Yeah,
I have 4 left feet, not just 2. Paul calls that research. Oh, no.
Honestly, oh my goodness, people.
I'm catching up with chat. It's a bad thing. Terry is not going to be the lad in red. Although he could be.
That's what you keep saying. It could happen.
I have to decide if I'm going to get you a green screen or not, because I think that would actually cause some problems, because then we couldn't see all the kitties. But if we could, that would be hilarious, because we'd be so easy to mat you in the red dress. If I had more time and talent, there are things I would do. No, Rick, I don't miss you. Not at all.
Wow. I just want to say for the record that I love each and every one of you. It's just, you need to say that. I don't think I've ever, in the matter of like 10 minutes or 15 minutes we've been on, put my hand to my mouth in shock as many times as I have.
It's flashbacks to Vegas where see. Let me tell you, folks, about Jack and our meeting in Vegas. When we ran into Jack, it was obvious at first glance that he was the outrageous guy in his group of friends. He was the one used to doing all the things that got people's hands up on their mouths and made them go, "What? That's outrageous." And then he ran into Paul and me and said, "Oh no. This is now, we've upped the level of competition here. These guys, they scare me."
Just a little.
And then we're trying to figure out dinner plans. We're like, yeah, so we met this new guy, Jack, and we're going to bring him dinner, okay? I'm like, new people, awesome, yay! And then he realizes that I have questionable taste because I hang out with Paul and Terry. So
Yeah.
And then there's really questionable taste because she's in the show.
Y'all asked.
I know. What were you thinking of accepting that? It's sullied your reputation. It really has sullied your reputation.
Has it?
Not really, but hasn't improved it either.
I don't know.
You think?
I'm able to add podcaster on my little bylines now. It's pretty cool.
I want to say that you already had that experience.
Yeah, but people never believe it because it's old. So,
Jack, your book is only available at Amazon, correct?
No, it is also available. I guess Audible and Kindle are Amazon subsidiaries.
They are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Audible, Kindle. Books a Million. Books. Wait, is it Books a Million or Barnes? It's both. I'm pretty sure.
Paperback.
And Politics and Prose.
Okay.
Out of DC.
Right.
Opus is my publishing house through Politics and Prose, but it's still self-publishing. I don't know. It's confusing.
Don't call it self-publishing. Call it indie publishing.
It's that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Two very different things.
Ellis says that I'm not supposed to tell people that I've gotten lucky, and that's what my wife keeps telling me.
Yeah, because it's.
What are you getting lucky doing?
Exactly. The context is missing, and that's the entire issue. And
Harry, you're evil. I'm a child of the sweet baby Jesus is not happy with you right now with what you're doing to my blood pressure.
What he did was he threw out some really rotted bait to see who would grab it, and we all looked at it and went, "No."
Except Jack, who was more than happy to go along with that line of thinking.
When he throws that out there, you just ignore him and you move on. You throw some bait right back at him. Research. So what are you working on now? Are you working on fiction or more drama? What are you doing?
Talking to me or Terry or V?
Talking to you. Oh, they know what he's doing. He's going to shit out another.
I'm writing science fiction. That's what I'm always doing.
All right, well, I have been working on marketing mostly, but I've been fooling around with ideas in my head. I'm trying to step away from turning my plays into books of prose because I don't like that. It feels like cheating, which it's not, but it kind of is. I've been playing around with a few ideas for books, and nothing's really stuck or come. It doesn't feel like anything of substance is sticking. So,
I know that.
I served in the world's greatest United States Air Force for 5 years, 12 days, and 4.5 hours.
So, what did you do in the Air Force?
I was an avionics technician. So pretty much IT for multi-million-dollar aircraft.
I know what an avionics technician is because I was a helicopter crew chief, so I interfaced with those often enough. This was the Army rather than the Air Force.
That was the best face ever. It's like, yes, I can. No, I can't.
Thank you.
I just ruined the whole thing. Said Army, and that was it for him. It was all over.
Yeah, because I grew up in the Army, and that's why I joined the Air Force. Yeah. It's crazy. But thank you for your service nonetheless.
Thank you for yours.
Write that in crayon. Can you do like
No, it's the Marines you got to write that in crayon for.
No, you can't write in crayon because they'll eat it. Do that. In crayon, because no, thank you. Told you my
I got to say, I have the greatest respect for the Air Force. Their dining halls were the most awesome ever.
Better believe it. You take that to the bank with you.
You know, they're laughing, but it's true.
No,
they have the most awesome dining halls ever.
When I was in the Scouts, we went to multiple Air Force bases on our way to wherever the hell it was we were going. We always had the omelet line and the cafeteria, and holy crap, that was always awesome. It was always incredible. Alice asked, did they let Jack serve as a door gunner on the space shuttles?
On the space shuttles?
He served before the Space Forces came around and drew their people from the Air Force. This is pre-Jack. Or pre-Space Shuttle.
Force comment. I draw. That ain't nothing.
Oh, here we go. We've touched
now
a nerve.
it's on. Now it's on. Now it's on. Now there's just be problems.
So should we be asking you about the UFO hearings in Washington then? You probably have an opinion.
I can neither affirm nor deny these allegations, sir. I have to refer you to the Public Affairs Office of the Department of Defense.
Wow, that was slick. That was slick. Well, ask and answer.
That I need to know it. It's just, I might remember that from accidentally talking to a reporter once. But that's neither here nor there.
Rick says, I don't think Jack is really suited for this crowd. No, I think Jack is so totally suited for this crowd.
Rude look. Ooh, wait till I see you in Vegas. Wait till I see you in Vegas. It's on. Oh, you're not suited for this crowd. Oh, move my pinky up while I say it.
Are we going to get Shakespeare on my ass? What are you doing here?
Oh, I apologize, sir. I thought that maybe the likes of me could
you know,
if you will, with the Dead Robot Society.
You know,
apparently been misinformed.
Rick said something and then he corrected himself, and I don't think.
Oh, wait,
Terry, you're
we lost you, Terry. Terry, we lost you.
And
there we go.
Then he went ahead and changed sick to stick, and I'm not sure that change actually makes it any better.
Except for the one on a stick behind him, sick behind him. I guess he's talking with the Space Needle? I don't know.
The stick.
We haven't gotten back to the boner comments again, have we?
No, Terry.
So for those who are listening to this not live, I challenge you, write down how many times boner gets mentioned, because I would love to have a tally for the next
It's the Boner Cast!
It's gonna have like this show is 17 boners. It's gonna be like a rating system.
Oh my God, I gotta send you the freaking Markiplier video where they did the Boner Cast. That's exactly what they described.
It hurts.
I can't. I can't.
I'm not even Catholic, and I feel like I need to go to confession.
Oh, wait a minute. She read off all the definitions. Did you not see did you hear what wasn't there?
I kind of wasn't listening because I was trying to figure out how to get into the chat because I'm not signed into Google or whatever. But
you made a comment. It showed up when you typed in there. It showed up there for you.
Yeah. Everyone drink boner talk. This whole episode is boner. So you say one thing and Terry just, I wasn't going to back down. He insulted my calves.
I didn't insult your calves. I just said they were unsuitable for wearing a red dress or, any dress really.
I would say that is probably true. Yes. I would agree with that.
In the words of Will Truman from Will and Grace, Paul's calves look like they swallowed a grapefruit. I do believe they're quite amazing, but not amazing enough for a dress. No.
I don't have good gams. Don't blame Terry for this one. Whatever. I gotta blame Terry for this one because it's what he gets. Terry is an indignity-seeking missile.
It's totally true.
See, never mind. It went on there. Okay.
There's a delay.
It's a slight delay, but it does work.
Because YouTube sucks. Are you serious?
Oh, wow.
Really?
Brett says, ironically, today is the annual Red Dress Run in New Orleans.
Is it for the American Heart Association?
Or is it for the HIV run?
Also. Yeah, because there are a couple different organizations that use the red dress. I know the American Heart Association does that because they partnered with one of the sororities when I used to work on campus, and they would have red dress galas and all this. No, I was not invited. But they always had that. But yeah, and that's pretty cool. Although it'd be hard to run in those, especially if you had the heels.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I can't run in heels for more than like 500 meters.
I don't know how you walk in them, let alone run in them. That is
You balance on
amazing.
your toes.
It's insane. I've seen it in DuPont Circle in DC. It's absolutely insane. And so many people are falling and twisting ankles and
Mm-mm.
breaking
Nope.
heels. Not today, Satan. Not about to catch me doing it.
No, I had.
No. Mm-mm.
There was when I worked on the college campus. There were times where I would have to haul butt across from my office to one of the classroom buildings, and oftentimes, if I wanted to where I was going, I ran, and I always wore heels because I needed to look a little taller and I needed to make my legs look better. So I wore heels. And so I learned how to run in 2-3 inch, well, 2 inch usually, but I have 3 inch platform. No, those aren't platforms. They're 3 inch like black pumps that I would run in. That I had
No
to.
way. No way. That's just when he was still writing, used to do the teddy bear run every Boxing Day. This day after Christmas, if memory serves. Local bike clubs would strap teddy bears to their bikes and drop them off to the kids in the hospital over the Christmas. That's cool. Yeah, the event raises money for local
That's
charities.
pretty sweet.
Cool. Somebody wanted to know what the hell have I been up to? Closet Treats, the original podcast version, is now streaming or showing up on the main feed at shadowpublications.com and YouTube. I'm back on track 9. I'm waiting on a contract. What else am I doing? I got the cover for the Black Outbreak trade paperback and ebook and audiobook.
Was Pondy's voting on Facebook worth it?
Pondy sent me a photo of it in process with them actually making it. They used real lighting and real everything. I can't, when I show you guys this, it's going to be amazing to see what they did. It'll be so cool. I have to get permission first. It'd be nice if I paid for it. But I have seen it. We got the interior done. I inspected that this morning. So hopefully we'll get Outbreak properly out there later this month and have it available. And as of right now, I have no idea when Neptune Scars will be published. That's all I will say about that. Other than that, back on track 9, breaking through stuff and trying to find the end. Find the end game. I don't know what it is yet. Terry is the one who said he doesn't know who's evil and who's not, who's responsible or who the guilty is in a mystery. When he writes it, he just assumes everybody's guilty.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to write a mystery if you assume everyone is guilty and you don't have to pick one till the end.
I didn't pick one till the middle, but I think it was self-apparent. I got to go back and take a look at that. I may need to leave.
You may need to leave some more red herrings.
Yeah, it's just hard. We'll talk. We'll babble. We'll talk about specifics after the show. Wait, what, B?
Nothing.
You look like you were going to say something.
Mm-mm.
She wants to say something, but she's not going to say something.
What were you going to say? What were you going to say? Oh, the other thing is the Outbreak audiobook is done at Fireside, so they're working on getting that produced. I guess we'll have that in the next month or two. So other than that, I just have to finish Neptune Scars, but right now I'm not motivated to finish the audiobook for reasons I won't go into. But that's basically my life sort of kind of in a nutshell right now.
Okay.
So that's what I've been up to. Nothing much more than that. The angelic pose ain't getting it. Did I say something Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't cut you off or something. You were looking like you were about to say something, and then okay.
No.
Right.
No.
Well, stop being paranoid. Angelic pose in red. Can you have an angelic pose in red? Is that possible?
Evidently, I can. Evidently, I'm a horrible judgmental person. I mean, I just don't talk enough. I have my sisters and I have been, and my daughter for that matter, more judgmental than God himself. So that has been said, and yes, yeah. I just don't say anything. I have Southern bless your heart face, okay?
Okay, well that works.
Oh,
Brett says
wow.
Agatha Christie always left out
Good way to
significant
put it.
details to throw you off. Really pissed me off. You know, that's an interesting thing with mysteries is you have a chance to show everything, where you have a chance to have a secondary character tell the character in question, like a Poirot or whomever, half the truth. But the reader can't know any more about the truth than the inspector or the character does who's getting the information. So basically, they have to make the decision if the information is reliable or not. Correct? So that's when you get the red herrings about, oh, well, this person who's my lover or my friend, they could have done this, or they were there, or whatever. They know somehow.
Back when I was still practicing at being a writer, when I was still writing under pseudonyms and publishing stuff, I wrote a book that had, it was sort of a paranormal sort of thing, murder mystery paranormal thing. And the heroine of the story could read things out of objects. And it was a very challenging thing to go ahead and write the scenes so that the appropriate things were obscured in the view, like finding the rock that was used to murder somebody. How do you do that without showing the murderer wielding the rock? It's all in viewpoint.
Yep, that's a lot like a book that I'm narrating right now. The one of the main characters, because they're essentially they're two main characters and they're related, and so it goes back and forth between the 60s and the present day, because one is the grandmother of the other, and they both have visions. And there's a plot line with one of them having visions about other people who were near them, and you're trying to figure out how does this tie in, but like you said, it's about the perspective. And when I was reading, I'm like, how is this all going to tie in? And then finally you get to the end, and where you see stuff coming through, it finally makes sense. But that book is written well enough that you're still like, you're turning the puzzle piece around and around and around, and then it finally fits.
Yeah, that conceit of the psychic is Brett brought up the Eyes of Laura Mars. Was that Faye Dunaway? I think is in that. It's if you haven't seen it, it's a pretty iconic flick. She basically sees the murders through the killer's eyes, but like through. It's almost as if it's through gauze, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time since I've seen this. The movie was ancient. Mm-hmm. But that's basically kind of the way what you're describing, Terry, right? So it's all basically point of view. You don't see any other details.
Sort of, because she reads objects. I get control over what angle the object is. It's not necessarily from who's holding the object.
Point of view of the object.
Point of view of the object was how I was writing it. And so it gave me a little bit of fine tuning of what I could do. And the key to writing a good mystery with that is writing the good perspective of an object vision so that it showed enough to be interesting, but revealed the critical things that would spoil the mystery.
Right.
So what about, you've got four people who write, fiction, nonfiction, but then Jack, you've also written stuff for the stage. So you got a more visual medium. How are you approaching that? Because you have your characters' perspectives, but then you also have the audience perspective and what they can glean. So do you think it's easier, harder? What do you think?
I think it's easier because with prose, what you do is you have to put those images into the minds of your readers, put the images and give your red herrings and give little hints and details into the narrative and the mystery, if you will. It's easier to do that with the stage because everybody sees everything happening. You kind of tell the actors what to do, and the script informs the action, which informs the audience. It's kind of cheating, I guess, in a way, because it's all there for you to see for yourself. Whereas in writing, it's all, oh, that's harder. That's a lot harder. I think that's why I'm struggling with this next book. It's just, I don't know what's gonna come of it that can stick and actually be something worthwhile.
Yeah, what he said. What he said. We're about to see. Now, see, if this was a mystery, Jack has the video on in the back, so we can't see what's going on behind him. Now he could be murdered right on the screen, and nobody can see anything because the thing is displaying the view of Seattle, and it would be a huge mystery.
The murderer is covered in green screen material.
That's exactly. Oh my gosh, with a green knife. Oh, nothing is happening. Oh, we can't see anything. What a great murder mystery thing to have right now. Too bad for Jack. He's dead. Sorry, Jack.
His body's on the floor. It's just, it's be awesome. Yeah, Brett says theater is more about dialogue, relations between people. Yeah, that's what I was going to go for. The other thing about the visual cues in theater is you can use more objects left behind or objects taken, things like that. And you may see a character do something that nobody else does except for maybe one character, and that character may remark on it to another character or to the character that did it, which is how you get more of the red herrings in the conversations. But yeah, drama is just so much dialogue.
Well, and also just symbolism and staging. I mean, you can have an ensemble piece where you've got one ensemble character who winds up representing an object, and then that message carries through, and you don't realize it until you're seeing it again or reading or a rewatch. And then another thing that theater has going for it is not just in the script, but how your set and your tech run through, so you can cue certain things or cue certain emotions with your lighting, with your design, with your sound.
And we do that as writers, though, as writing fiction and everything else. We are doing that because the way I look at it anyway is it's just a movie that I'm producing in my head. That's it. I just have to describe what I'm seeing in my head, what these people are doing, and everything else. The stage directions are what the narrator tells you the people are doing. The dialogue is the dialogue. The setting is the setting. And it's how the characters move through that setting and what they say that matters the most. And then afterward, what everybody's thinking, which is the part you don't necessarily get in theater without soliloquies. So there's a lot of different conceits and mechanisms and devices between the two, but there are two that share. And Jesus Christ, are you going to start speaking dirty to me because of the heavy breathing? What the fuck?
Oh my God.
Well, Jack's always been heavily attracted to you, so I'm not shocked, that the heavy breathing is coming into this.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, was I heavy breathing?
No.
No,
him.
Jack, shut the hell up.
No, the cat's not Jack.
No, but I will make sure to remind Harry that for the next feline that comes into his pounce, I'm going to make sure that if such a name fits, it will be volunteered.
All right.
What was the name? I'm sorry, I was wrestling a cat, so I didn't hear it. What was the name?
That's time number 4.
Harry.
Okay.
That's time number 4. You just picked up the cat and tossed it away. So that needs to be a new drinking game all in of itself. That way
when Julius gets this way, he keeps running around and getting back on me, so I have to keep putting him down. This is something that occurs fairly often. And then he'll lay down on my desk and just stare at me.
How very dare you, Dad.
William says theater relies on specific tropes and such more than film and books and whatnot. It seems to be needed with less control over how the audience works with the story. There are some things you can't do in drama that you can do in film. Absolutely.
Yeah, but there are plenty of genres that rely upon specific tropes. And if you do not have those tropes there, then, and the reader's going to throw your book.
Yeah, pretty much. Terry has caught the loop. I quit somebody at break. Yeah, every medium does have its tropes. I mean, there are so many films where you have a first-person narrator who's literally talking to the camera and then goes to interact over everybody. Then you have the narrator who's a part of the story, but not the chief's story, the main mover, the prime mover, or the POV. And then you have ones where you've got the floating disembodied voice who's able to jump into anybody's skull that needs to be jumped into and tell you what the hell's going on and what they're doing and how it works. Those are all different conceits.
If you're talking actors in theater, shouldn't it be troops as opposed to tropes?
No, actually, oh man, it's in the other room. You're more looking at in theater. You've got it's archetype is not the right word, but I'm thinking of commedia dell'arte and how you've got 9. It's 9. They're 8 or 9 set characters who can play any role. You've got your leader, your male lover, your doctor, your captain, your fool,
your grotesques.
I
guess fits fool.
Well, the fool, and you've got the female lover, you've got the tart, and you've got the nag.
Paul is the tart.
Am I missing anybody? I'm trying to think because I did. It was one of my favorite. One of the favorite shows I did in college, called Company of Wayward Saints, and I was actually the nag because I have been typecast as the old lady ever since I was in 8th grade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, you looked so old when you were so young. Now you look so young and you're so old.
Yeah. I guess I've been perpetually 35. Who knows? But no, the first role I had, I was cast as the nagging mother from Bye Bye Birdie. So the one who shows up in a mink coat and then finally gets thrown onto the train because she's harping on everybody else. But Company of Wayward Saints, it plays on the Commedia dell'arte group. And it ideally in any show, if you can fill those roles, if you're going to look at a sitcom, you're going to find people who hit all of those archetypes, roles. I'm missing the word there and I feel terrible about it.
Archetype works.
Yeah, I guess.
Archetype works. They are archetypes.
So yeah, but yeah, I remember that because I had an awesome costume. It was great. It was all in like creams and browns and like this cute skirt and corset and white fluffy blouse. And I had to learn how to juggle to teach the guy who was is not secretly Baba Yaga.
She's actually secretly John Wick.
Not on chicken feet. What is your problem?
She's John Wick. Now you're gonna get it.
I'm
Jane Wick. Jane Wick. There we go.
I'm a little too smiley to be John Wick.
That's true. He doesn't smile in those films. Of course, he has very little reason to smile.
True. And I am not nearly as comfortable with firearms as he is. So,
this is an aside, but have you seen the YouTube video of him doing 3-gun training?
No.
It showed him going out to a range and doing 3-gun training, which is firing at various targets using a pistol, a shotgun, and a rifle. And going through that on a very fast clip of doing that. And it's pretty interesting to watch him do it. He went through some real life training, that kind of thing that a professional shooter would go through to prepare himself for doing the John Wick stuff.
There's always a cat. There's always a cat somewhere in Terry's room, seems like.
Julius has been evicted.
Yeah, we noticed that. So does he have squatters' rights? Is he coming back? I mean, what does he do? Does he protest outside the door?
He's going to sit out there for a while, and when I open the door, he'll come back in and maul me again.
Oh, well, as long as it's predictable.
Meow, he's a tall glass of water.
Oh,
he's a good-looking man. What did you say about that? He's just a good-looking man.
So, Veronica, have you actually watched the first John Wick movie?
I've not watched any of them. I so my week of so during my week of sit and do nothing, you're supposed to find that those catch up on those movies or series that you haven't yet watched. I've gotten to season 2 halfway through of Lower Decks, which for Star Trek, I'm amused. It was good. And then I kind of binge watched the entirety of Ghosts, which is a CBS sitcom about a couple.
Oh my God.
Thanks, Castor. That was Castor, right?
That was Pollux.
God damn it! I always get the two mixed up.
Castor is the fluffy one.
I know. I thought there was more fluff there. So yes, Lower Decks is a Star Wars cartoon, and
No, it's not. Star Trek.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Bad geek. No. So Ghosts. Yes, Brett's right. It started out as the BBC sitcom. I was watching the American version because one of the projects I'm writing is a paranormal thing. Paranormal, kind of cozy, kind of not. Cat, small shadow, small little void, small sleepy void, small judgmental sleepy
Yeah,
void.
Jack has not seen my cat furniture.
I heard you got some more furniture on the last show.
It's yeah.
Yeah,
So
I don't show that kind of furniture on the show, because that starts questions.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see
I'll give you another show recommendation during the After Dark episode then for that kind of redecorating.
Oh, wow.
So V, did you get a chance to see the Strange New Worlds Lower Decks crossover?
No, and that's why I started watching Lower Decks, because I've only gotten, I think, 3 episodes into Strange New Worlds, the newest season. Because that's one of those shows that we'll watch like together as a family. There are a couple shows we'll watch together for storytelling or predictability or what have you. Potentially, Brett. There's there's a series on one of the streaming services called how to build or how to design a sex room, and it's really interesting.
Jack is going to need a recommendation on that.
It's like it's like R-rated HGTV.
It's not HGTV. That's TV.
They don't do anything. They're just talking about the hardware and stuff.
So what's next? How to make a kill room? Episode 7? Installing soundproofing? I mean, what the fuck?
Well, as long as you don't have a crossover, I think it's okay.
Says we need a link.
What about the wetware?
So there was so
we're going to want more details when we get to the After Dark show.
We'll wait for the After Dark because I'm going to just keep that together until later. So that'll be incentive. So anyone who is not a patron at the level where you can get to the After Dark episodes, you could
buy me a coffee, drop some money.
Yeah, drop some coffee, and then you can figure out what I was going to say later about the interesting considerations that have been done on this particular show. Yeah.
Jesus God.
What?
This,
I can help.
Scared. What are you not telling me, Brett? Where is this?
Yeah, we can't install this in here because you need a 4x4 in the top of the ceiling for this kind of thing. These 2x4s just ain't going to cut it.
Brett, does this mean that you're doing research for Paul for his next book? So you can say, yep, this is feasible. Nope, you can't do that. Nope, that doesn't work. No, you have to twist things like this and position like that and hang like this, and then you're really good.
Paul, answer this question.
No.
Yes.
Oh, how do we watch the After Dark show? Patreon.com/DRS podcast and buymeacoffee.com/DRS podcast, where for as little as $1 a month, you get access to exclusive content, including DRS After Dark, which is coming up. And I got to do this speech one more fucking time before we get out of this episode.
Yeah, but you went so fast that she's not going to have a clue what you actually said.
Oh, well, I'll have to be there. You're always research for my books. Yeah, there's so much phrasing going on here. I'm just not even going there. He is my club buddy, though, for the research I am doing for Trek 9. So there you go. What have I been listening to as I'm
JR, you have been listening to the book recommendation for Jack's book, American Airmen, which is available on Amazon and Audible. And for those who have a Kindle subscription, it's on Kindle Unlimited. So why have you not gone and downloaded it already?
And if you're on Audible, why haven't you used credit on it?
Yeah, no kidding.
Also, I've never in my wildest dreams imagined boner, sex rooms, or Paul's cast would ever be in the same conversation as my book.
When we get to the After Dark show and we start talking about sex dungeons, we're going to have to get Jack's take on what actually needs to be in this. Yes, that's right.
Bible.
A Bible in the sex dungeon. Okay, I can imagine a few uses for that. I can.
You may have to have an exorcism or
right, or super French
if it's a good thick one, you could get some spanking action out of that.
Wow, I thought we had reached the bottom, but nope, just keep digging. There's an Earth rover.
I guess we'll have to figure out which version is the thickest, because I know the King James version is missing several books that the Catholic one has. I am in so much trouble.
And then there's the Apocrypha. You got to worry about the Apocrypha. You got to stuff that in there too. You got to make sure it's thick and girthy, man, if you're going to use it properly.
We're back to boners again, aren't we?
Oh my God.
Well, if you have a comment about our boner, you can send an email to show@deadrobotsociety.com. You can find me at Paul_E_Cooley at VYRSE.social. You can find us on Facebook at the Listeners of the Dead Robot Society Facebook group, where Terry bangles all the madness. You can find us at YouTube at youtube.com/DRS podcast to see us and way too damn many cats. And if you want to support the show, you can find us at patreon.com/DRS podcast and buymeacoffee.com/DRS podcast, where for as little as $1 a month, you get access to exclusive live shows and other craziness. And set aside time for to go confession tonight. And at the $10 level, you get your name read. Our $10 patrons are Tony L. Joy, Isabel Cushy, and Ted Niederreiter. Thank you very much to all of our patrons.
And really, you should, if you're not a patron supporter and want a link to go to the After Dark show, go to Buy Me a Coffee and get that link, because I suspect it's going to be a bit rowdy.
Oh, God, I'm going to have to change something on the post. Anyway, all right.
Will you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, right, because we're all so pure and innocent.
That has nothing to do with that. It's something technical, but good try. Good try. Good try. There's one more thing we got to do before we get out of here, and that's to admit our caffeine addiction. And we get our caffeine from corpsecoffee.com. Visit corpsecoffee.com. Check out their array of boutique teas, coffees, and their wonderfully weird webcomic, and tell them DRS sent you. Visit corpsecoffee.com and get the dead in your cup. Wow. A minute and a half to spare. So this is where we tell you to go get Jack's book and make sure you email him and tell him things about boners.
Get his book, leave a review on Amazon, and mention boner in it, and there may be a prize. Maybe.
Yeah, it's called Amazon suspending your account.
Yeah.
Let's not do that. But truly, leave a review, and if when you do finish reading it, put something out on your preferred socials so other people can learn about it and read it.
Absolutely.
Once again, the name of the book is American Airmen, a memoir of a wounded veteran, and the link is in the live channel on Discord.
And will be in the show notes as well when Paul actually adds the show notes on YouTube.
They're already there, Bubba.
He can edit it then, Matt.
They're already there, Bubba.
Ooh, use a bed. Use on it.
This one time at the coffee shop.
Dun dun dun. This one time I was drinking coffee and this like horrible thing happened with the cinnamon. It was like a cinnamon straw cream accident.
See,
it was horrible.
Before we leave, JR is actually in the same boat as you. He is he's not an American airman. He's an American Army guy that is also a wounded veteran. So he's in the same boat as you.
Hey,
well,
hello,
not the same
Meldon.
boat. My boat's a little bit more pristine because I'm Air Force. His boat's a little.
You have a better mess hall than he had access to. That's definitely the truth.
Well, the difference is that Air Force folks actually go to the toilet. The Army people just shit in their helmets. That's a real problem. Bye, folks.